Hello, this is a tutorial on the basics of Keycloak. In this tutorial, we're going to secure two applications and one RESTful web service. To do that, we're going to need to create a realm, some roles, a user, some role mappings for that user, and we're going to need to register and configure the applications and services that are going to be secured by Keycloak. The demo looks like this. There are two applications, a customer portal and a product portal. Each of these applications talk to a back-end RESTful database service. When the browser visits the customer portal is going to go to the database REST service and obtain a list of customers and display it back to the browser. The product portal, when a browser visits it, it's going to go also to the database REST service, get a list of products, and send it back to the browser to be viewed. This whole interaction here is secured by the Keycloak server. There's going to be two security constraints within our realm. We're going to have a user role and an admin role, and each application will have protected resources for the user and admin roles. So let's do that. The first thing we have to do is bring up the Keycloak server. What I've done is I've downloaded the Keycloak appliance distribution and I've unzipped it into my home directory. If I do an ls here, you'll see that there are three directories in the distribution. There's an adapters directory, an examples directory, and a Keycloak directory. Within the Keycloak directory, there is the actual Keycloak server. The Keycloak server is actually a Wildfly application server distribution, which is pre-configured with Keycloak. So if I go in the Keycloak/bin directory, I can start up the server by typing standalone.sh. For those of you familiar with Wildfly and JBoss, you'll see that this is a familiar way to start up the server because it is actually a Wildfly instance in the background. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go to the Keycloak administration console so I can create the realm that's going to be used to secure our applications. So if you go to localhost port 8080/auth, you'll see it brings you to the Keycloak welcome page. From this page, you can get access to the documentation of Keycloak, go to the Keycloak project to see what we're doing, ask questions on the mail list, report an issue through our JIRA. But what we want to do is we want to go to the administration console, so we will click that. To log into the administration console, Keycloak is pre-configured with an admin user, and the default password is admin. When I click login, this admin user is not enabled by default. It's not enabled until you actually change the default password. We'll change the default password to PW. I enter in the new password in this field here, and I confirm it in that one, and I click submit. And I'm brought to the Keycloak administration console. The initial page here is the Keycloak administration realm. The Keycloak administration realm manages security for the actual Keycloak server. But what we want to do is create a new realm for our demo applications. To do that, we'll click the Add Realm button here. There are two ways to add a realm to Keycloak. One, you can import it through a JSON file, or you can create it from scratch using the Create Realm field here. And that's what we'll do. We'll create one from scratch. So what I'll do here is enter in a name. We'll call our new realm demo. We'll click save, and you see that the realm has been created. Now that we've created our demo realm, we need to create some roles for it. To do that, we'll click on the roles link here that is within the settings tab of the demo realm. You see that we have no roles configured. To create one, we click the Add Role button. The name of our role will be User, and we'll give it a description as well. User privileges. Then we'll click Save. Now when we go back to the roles page, you'll see that our new role is specified in the list. We'll add another role called Admin. Click Save here, and you see that we've created our user and admin roles. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a user. So we go to the Users tab here, and we click Add User. And my username will be bburke@redhat.com. I'm going to enable the user, and I don't really have to do anything else, so I will save this particular user. So if I go back to the Users tab here, the main page for users, and I click View All Users, you'll see that bburke@redhat.com is listed. So when we click on that link, you'll see that we can delete bburke@redhat.com if we want to. After we created the user, the next thing we want to do is we want to set up his credentials. So we'll click on Credentials, and we will specify a new password. So the password will be password. I'll click Reset Password, and you'll see that our password's been saved. So we have our user, we have the password for our user. The next thing we have to do is we have to assign it some roles. So we'll click on the role mappings link here. And you'll see that we have user and admin available roles that we can assign to the user. And we're just going to assign user. So we click on it, we click on the right arrow button here, and immediately when I click that arrow, bburke@redhat.com will have a user role associated with it. Okay, so we've created our realm. We've created two roles for our realm. We've created a user and we've assigned a role to it. The next thing we have to do is we have to configure the applications that are going to be secured by this demo realm. So we'll go to the Applications tab here, and what we're going to do is we're going to register our customer portal and our product portal applications with the Keycloak demo realm. To do that, we'll click on the Add Application button. We'll enter the name of our customer portal. We'll enable it. So another thing we have to do is specify the admin URL for our customer portal application. In this particular case, the admin URL is going to be the base URL of the customer portal application. And it's going to be localhost port 8080/customer portal. So now that I've done that, we'll click Save. And if I go to the Applications tab again, you'll see that our customer portal application has been listed. The next thing we have to do is we have to set up the credentials for our customer portal application. These credentials are used by the customer portal application to get access tokens from the Keycloak server. So we need to set that up by clicking the credentials link here, and our password will be password. Click Save. Okay, now that we've created our application and we've set the password for our customer portal application, the next thing we have to do is set up something called Scope. To do that, we'll click on the Scope link here. The scope of the customer portal application is the set of roles that the customer portal application is allowed to request from the Keycloak server when the user logs in. So in this case, we want the customer portal application to be able to ask for any role. So we click on both of them here, click the right arrow, and we assign those roles to the customer portal scope. So what this means is that when a user goes to the customer portal application, the customer portal is going to redirect the user to the authentication server, and the authentication server is going to say, hey, you know, if the user has the user role and the admin role, the Keycloak server is allowed to request and get those roles assigned to the access token that is sent back to it. If I actually removed admin, from the scope of the customer portal and the user had admin privileges, the access token that the customer portal received would not have the admin role associated with it. It would only have the user role associated with it. So that's what scope is in a nutshell. So in this case, we want to be able to allow both roles to the scope of the customer portal application. Okay, now that we've defined all the metadata within the Keycloak administration console for our customer portal, let's actually secure the customer portal application. The customer portal application is a Java servlet project that exists in the Keycloak appliance distribution. If you do an ls in this directory here, you'll see that there is an examples directory. We'll go there. Do ls again, you'll see that there is an unconfigured demo. This unconfigured demo is the project the master project that we're going to use for this particular tutorial here. So we'll see there. And what you can do is bring up this project in your favorite IDE. And my favorite IDE is IntelliJ. Again, our customer portal application is a Java servlet project. It's actually a Maven Java servlet project. And if you look in the customer app directory here, you'll see that there is a war Maven archetype there. Each war application needs to have a keycloak.json configuration file that is placed in the webinf directory of that particular war. So if we go to the webinf directory here, we're going to create this file, keycloak.json. One of the nice things about the administration console is that it can provide a template for this keycloak.json file with most of the configuration attributes preset for you. So let's go back to the Keycloak administration console and get that template. See here we have our customer portal application. We click on that link and you'll see that there is an installation tab. I'll click on that installation tab. What the installation tab provides me is a template configuration file for keycloak.json, and it has most of the attributes all set up for me. So I'll cut and paste this into my keycloak.json file. Okay, first of all, let's clean this file up. There's some configuration options we don't need here, so we'll delete all those right there. One of the things we do have to specify is the password for our customer portal application. And if you remember, the was password. Another thing we have to set is an attribute called SSL not required. We need to set this to true. Click Save. When you download the Keycloak appliance, it is not set up to do HTTPS. Now, we have to set this SSL not required attribute to true, because if we didn't, Keycloak would shoot off an error if we tried to access the Keycloak administration server without using HTTPS. So we set this SSL not required attribute to true. You'll see also that the template provided me with the public key of the realm, the name of the realm, the name of our particular application, as well as the base URL of the Keycloak server. Okay, keycloak.json is done. And so is part 1 of this tutorial. Go to the website to view part 2.